My dudes, what's happening, man? Recently I did a video that was about going independent, going out on your own, and not just looking for a job with an employer, but making your own product. Now, there are a lot of ways that artists can make their money. I look around and I see opportunities every single place that I look. Artists shape the world, man. Now, I don't want to say that your art has to be something that you monetize, but if you're considering that you want to make a profession out of being an artist, there are a lot of ways that you can go independent, you can make your own product, and you can build a whole business around any one of these items that I'm about to list. Each one is its own industry, and it is nuanced. What people want from that is a nuanced thing. You're going to have to do research, a lot of research on each one's market. We'll start with the obvious one, T-shirts. There are print-on-demand services like Teespring that you can use to create an entire business around T-shirts. Poster prints. InPrint allows you to upload your art files directly to their website, and it is a print-on-demand service. They ship it out. InPrint also offers framed art prints if you want to go for that more high-end kind of a thing, canvas prints, acrylic prints. They also offer phone cases. You could just build a business around designing artwork that goes on phone cases. And that could start with InPrint and then eventually lead into something where you got your own shops in the mall. You could do art cards or print cards. These could be collectible, depending on how you go about pursuing your business. If you make collectible print cards, trading cards, playing cards. You could do artwork for a playing card set. Very classy. If you want to get a little bit more spooky with it, you could go straight for the tarot card set. Now, keep in mind that whatever one of these that you choose, you could decide to do your own unique take on it, your own unique theme, whatever that might be. It's going to be up to you to find your niche. Action figures. You could actually do the research to discover how to manufacture and create your own action figures or collectible 3D models. There are manufacturers listed online for doing such things all over the place. A little bit of research and you could be making your own action figures. Comic books. Now, this is a lot of work, but you can always make a living doing comic books. You could do these in physical print editions, running Indiegogos or Kickstarter campaigns, or you can do them as digitally distributed web comics online. These could be free for the consumer, but you get ad revenue. So then if you bring in the hype, you're going to get yourself some pretty good ad revenue. YouTube. Now, YouTube doesn't pay as well as you might think unless you got yourself about 1 million subscribers. So I tend to think of YouTube as more of a channel for keeping in communication with an audience that likes your work. I suppose I'd say it's a supplementary type of a business. Indie game development. Now, this one is a beast because you'd have to learn to program, you'd have to learn game design, you'd have to learn the art. There's a lot that goes into it, so I'm kind of almost reluctant to put this in here. But there are some kinds of ways that you could design a game that's very art-focused and a little bit less on the technical programming side. Printed ties. That's right. You could be printing your art on ties, business ties. And that's not a bad deal. You could see people walking around wearing your artwork on their ties. That might be a whole new business. Gig posters. Now, right now, there aren't a whole lot of rock and roll concerts going on, but I'd say that that's not a bad job to be doing also. People tend to buy things based on popular bands. Bands don't like to draw usually, unless if you're Adam Jones. So they need artists who can create some awesome imagery for their gig posters and their album covers. That's another option. You could go the direction of being an album cover artist. There are a lot of independent musicians out there who would pay good money to have artists put together some branding material for them. YouTube banner artist. There are a lot of ways that you could possibly tune your commissions towards YouTubers, reaching out to various YouTubers, offering to create custom artwork for their banners. These days, there's a lot of people that are creating their own social media channels and they need branding materials. If you're an artist, you can create branding materials for these other social media outlets. That's also a good way to network. Dog portraits. This is a thing. I met a guy who makes a really good living just doing commissions of people's pets. He does paintings of their pets. Book covers and novel cover artists. There are always book conventions and there are always editors out there that are looking for artists to paint covers for novels. On top of that, Amazon just saw a massive spike in independent novelists and writers creating their own books, and these guys do not have the art skills, most of them. Some of them do. But most of them are looking for artists who can create really iconic imagery for their novel covers. So reach out to authors, independent authors who have their books on Amazon. I would go through Amazon and look for any book cover that I feel like I could paint better than them and reach out to the author. DVD and movie poster artists. Some of these jobs pay very, very well. These studios are very flush with cash. And while, right now there are some turbulence going on with that, they're still going to always need movie poster imagery for their Netflix pages and things like that. A lot of times they just go through advertising agencies. But if you can put together really nice materials and send it into them, to these studios, I'm sure it would take a little bit of research to figure out who to contact in their marketing department, in their branding departments, but you could be the person who's doing the next Mandalorian poster art or My Little Pony, depending on whatever your flavor is. Skateboard artist. I'm not talking about the dude who's doing hand plants in 1080s, okay? I'm talking about the artist who draws the cool graphics that are on those sweet-ass boards. You could do a whole business. If you're an artist, you could do a whole business around drawing these kick-ass artworks that go on these Tony Hawk skateboards or whoever else is awesome right now. Surfboard graphics. Same dealio, man. You could be the person who's doing all the artwork that's on those kick-ass surfboards. Greeting cards. They need artists to create artwork for greeting cards. You could create your own, or you could contact some of these other existing greeting card companies and reach out to them. Board game artist. Now, this is one that probably should have been mentioned previously with the trading cards, but board game artists are blowing up right now. There's a lot of work in the board game industry and the physical tabletop industries. You could be the artist who's doing a lot of artwork for them, as well as doing their miniature designs. That's right, you could probably make a Kickstarter just with miniatures that would sell like crazy if you can make some awesome miniatures. Star Wars fan artist. Now, this one sounds ridiculous, but I've met people whose entire lifeblood is just about going to Comic-Cons and doing Star Wars fan art. Street artist. Hey, don't knock it, man. These guys jam out a painting in 10 minutes with like a hair clip, a Folgers can, and they sell it for like $50 or something like that. There's good money in street art. Caricature artist. You know those guys that sit down in the mall? They got those little booths and they'll do drawings of you with the big chubby cheeks and the big buck teeth. Oh, you mean they don't draw you that way too? Well, there's good money in doing caricature art as well. Very social and a great way to meet people too. Tattoo artist. Now, you don't even have to be the person who's actually putting the ink in the skin, man. You can just be the person who designs the tattoos and then puts that, you have to work out a deal with tattoo parlors to work out the licensing to be able to use your artwork, but you get paid for that. Somebody gets paid for that. Landscape painter. And I'm not talking about painting on bushes and trees. I'm talking about the person who paints those paintings that you see when you go to the dentist of the really nice piers and things like that. There's a place where dentists buy all this stuff from. Get your landscape paintings up on that website and you're gold, baby. Logo design. That's right. Sometimes people will pay upwards to $10,000 just for a logo. Can you believe it? Now, admittedly, you're going to have to go through a lot of iterations and difficult clients sometimes, but hey, there's good money in logo design. Whatever kind of product it is that you decide really speaks to you and you think that your artwork would really appeal to that market, really give it some focus. Focus on people who ask yourself, what do those consumers want? What are those people who are buying those skateboards? What kind of designs are they buying right now? Because trends are always changing, styles are always changing, and you need to try to deliver the product that they want. So if you're a skater, that's a perfect mix, man. If you're a skater who's also an artist, man, do some skateboard designs. That would be sweet. You absolutely should tie it into something that you're also really passionate about. For me, that's been concept art for a very long time and making video games. So that's why I do a lot of products that are around teaching people how to make art for video games. I have loads of tutorials from beginner to advanced, teaching you the fundamentals of drawing, all the way up to the high-level stuff that they don't even teach you in art schools for professional concept artists. All that's over on my Gumroad channel. And this has been something that I've been building momentum on for several years now. So it's whatever it is that you're really passionate about, you better plan to build a good momentum. It takes a few years before you really get traction. But as always, remember to do it with passion. Do the thing that you love the most, okay? Don't try to just do something that worked for somebody else. All right, dudes, that's it for me this week. I will catch y'all mañana, and ciao, baby. Oh, yeah.